He should know by now that those huntsman spiders are expert jumpers. And if you thought that spider was evasive, check out this one. These huntsman spiders really know how to avoid getting caught. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia.
Awesome.
What a truly shocking find. And if you thought saving that snake was intense, check out this riverboat snake rescue. How do snakes even get trapped in these places? Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. Watch this giant spider crab shed off its shell. You won't believe your eyes. Check out the incredible footage. That was both gross and fascinating to watch. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. This guy wanted to spend a beautiful day paragliding above the National Park in Bright, Victoria. But this bird is not happy having to share the sky with him. That bird really isn't his biggest fan. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. Without help, that eel would have never made it back to safety. If you thought that rescue was intense, you have to see this next one. Every animal deserves a second chance, even if they are quite terrifying. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia.
That's got him.
Add snakes on top of my house to the list of things that terrify me. And if you thought that snake was in an odd spot, check out this one hiding inside a wall socket. Apparently, there's nowhere a snake can't sneak into. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. It's impossible to watch this video without falling in love with koalas. Take a look at these beautiful creatures. They are so cute. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. Only in Australia would you see a dog and an emu playing chase. This Jack Russell puppy and emu are unlikely friends, but they have so much fun together. What an adorable relationship. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. These people thought it would be interesting to see what sheep herding looked like from above. So they launched a drone into the air and followed the sheep as they moved from field to field. Check it out. They look so tiny. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. You might think this spider in Woi Woi is dancing for no reason, but he's actually trying to impress a female friend with the hopes of mating. If she's unimpressed by his moves, she could eat him. That spider is literally dancing for its life. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. It was such a hot day outside that these guys tried to cook an egg by only using a frying pan and the heat from the sun. You have to see this. I've always wanted to try that. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. Fishing is supposed to be a peaceful sport, but it's hard to stay calm when there's a great white shark stalking your boat. Take a look. I won't be going swimming there anytime soon. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia. These guys were incredibly lucky to swim with a pod of dolphins. The beautiful animals stayed with them for hours. Australia might have some of the deadliest animals, but it also has some of the most beautiful. Head back tomorrow for another episode of Only in Australia.